Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. We'll continue with our CI workflow. We started writing our workflow yesterday where we designed the um, skeleton and then we started, putting the steps. So what we have now is we've already defined our checkout stage, and I'm trying to see if there's a way we can actually confirm this checker, just the way we did for Jenkins, where we're testing each stage one after the other. So I would create a file like from the previous video when you want to create a workflow. So you do dot GitHub, you make a directory dot GitHub GitHub. Let me confirm from the slide. So we have So we're going to create .github dot slash workflows here. So I'll make a directory at which is .github, and I'll cd to the directory GitHub, and inside that directory I will also create another directory called workflows workflows and I'll cd to workflows, and I'll create a file called ci.yaml because it's a YAML file. Jenkins, sorry, I said Jenkins. GitHub Actions workflow is written in YAML format. So I'll create a ci.yaml and I'll paste this. Okay, so just to test if this is working. So I'm just going to do cd dot 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 and do git status. Okay, so I'm going to add it and commit. Okay, then I'll push. I'm pushing to the main branch to ask for my username and my token. Okay, so let's go to our GitHub repository and see if we have any changes. Okay, so this is already showing a yellow sign here. Once you see that yellow sign, it means that it has triggered a GitHub action. So if I go to actions, now I'm seeing this. So before we didn't see this, we saw like a bunch of snippets, code snippets that you can actually use. But now we already have action, and you can see the name of the action. That's why I said whatever name you put here. So logger app CI workflow, that is what will be the name of our GitHub action. So when I click on it, I'm supposed to added CI is the commit that we just did. So to work on that particular commit. So when I click on it, so I want to see what it actually did. So it has we listed the jobs. Whatever all that we listed in the jobs is what is actually here. Setup job, checkout code, test backend, image build, blah blah blah. So setup job, let's see what is there. So it gave a runner. It gave us a runner image operating system. We defined this to run on Ubuntu. So The operating system that it will give is Ubuntu. It gave us the Ubuntu operating system, and it gave us the latest, which is 24.04. So it provisioned the runner. Then the image that was used. This is just like the how would I say it now? Provisioning the VM that will be used to run this particular job. So that is what it does at first. And then the first stage is the checking out of our code. So it has checked out the code. This was successfully completed, and you can see the repository. It checked out our repository rather. So that's actually worked. The other stages, there is nothing in the other stages, so you're literally not you won't see anything there. We just have our run there. So this is to show that it was able to check out the code or check out the repository rather. So it was able to do that successfully. So we can now go on to start adding other stages. So the more we do it, the more we um are able to confirm that what we do or what we have done is actually correct. So let's go back to our VS Code and start adding things little by little. Sorry. So the first thing we want to do is, according to what we have here, what we did was we first tested the back end. So we are literally going to write this same thing. So I'm just going to do now the way, if you're familiar with YAML and if you've gone through my YAML video, you would see that when you want to write, when it's a single command you want to do, you can just write the echo command and all of that. However, if you have like a bunch of steps that has so many commands, the best thing is to, what do? You put a pipe. When I put a pipe, it means that I want to actually um, run bunch of command, and it's already giving me um, a snippet that I can just work with. I'll just hit tab to use it, but I'm going to edit some things. So I'll save it to the backend. I would I will run this. I'm just going to copy. Okay, let me just copy everything. Copy everything. So I'll just indent them. So I'll delete this because I already have this already. So I'll bring this closer. So since we are working with Ubuntu, I can always use source. It will work fine. Then pip install and flick 8 app.py. Now, if I should run this, we might run into an issue. And what issue are we going to run into? This I need to install. Since I'm working with the Ubuntu virtual machine, let's just say that we're using an Ubuntu virtual machine. What we do is that, unlike Jenkins, where I can just go into the container and install things like Python, install things like pip and all of that, we don't have that luxury of going into any going into the runner to actually install those things. So there has to be a step before we test the backend, because this will not work. So what we are going to do is that before we do this, we'll add a step where we install Python, where we install pip also. So I'm just going to, okay, let me do, so set up Python. So it already knows that I'm supposed to set up Python before I run this test. So my VS Code is already giving me the code snippet. So I'll just hit tab to accept it. So if you notice, I'm not I'm not running any command here. I'm not doing yum install whatever or or trying to install Python, like how do I put it now? The normal way that we will do it on an Ubuntu VM. Why is that? Because there is already, just the same way we have like a plugin for this, there's already a plugin to set up Python. So all I need to do is just, use the same this thing and accept it, use the latest. But let me show you where I got this from, or let me show you where this is gotten from. If I come here and I go to, where's the marketplace? Um, okay, check out action. Let me go back. If I click on setup Python and I click on enter, so you can see there's an action to set up Python. If I click on it, so you can see uses install Python. This is exactly, this is it. So this is exactly where that one was gotten from. So I'm just going to use exactly what is here, since this is definitely the latest. So it should be version 6, and the Python version should be 3.13. Okay, so I'll go back 3.13 and change this to version 6. So now this Python version that we're stating here is not the version in your source code. No, it's the version that you're installing on the runner. So we're installing Python 3.13 on the runner. That's on the Ubuntu virtual machine, or the Ubuntu runner that's been given to you. So let me see if I'll be able to do for install pip. Okay. I don't need this particular stage because I already have it here. So let me see if I have something for install pip. Okay, so I will also install pip for it to actually work. So I'm running Python ensure pip upgrade and Python pip install upgrade. So I need to install Python and I need to have pip also installed. So with these two, it will install the Python on the Ubuntu VM. Let me use runner. It will install the Python on the Ubuntu runner. It will also install pip on the Ubuntu runner. So once these stages has been fulfilled, then we can now test our backend and be sure that it is going to work. So I'm going to copy this now, and I would update. I will update the repository. I'll update, yes, our repository, and then we'll see what happens next. So um echo echo this to GitHub GitHub workflows ci.yaml vim. Okay, so I'll paste it here, and then I'll just do add commit updated CI, and then I'll push to ask for that, and I'll get my token one more time. Okay, so let's go back to our GitHub repository and see if that has been triggered. If I refresh, okay, so this is running. And let's see. Okay, so you can see the first thing is setup job. It's it's set that's already self-explanatory. We've looked into this and it has checked out the code, and then now it has set up Python. So it has installed Python version, and it has also installed pip. So it's successfully installed pip. So we now have Python and pip, which will enable us to be able to run our command. So we've done the testing stage of our backend, and that was actually successful. So we'll move to the next. We'll move to the next. So what is the next? Okay. So we need to build image. We need to build an image, and I can come here, go back. So from what we have here, we need to do Docker build. So before we do that, there are some environments we need to actually add. So we are going to add our environments also the same way we added them here. So I'll go to here, and under settings, I'll choose actions. No, not runners. Secrets and variables. So under actions, so I'll create a secret. So I'm creating two secrets for now. Um, CI workflow. So we're going to create secrets. Click on it. We need Docker username. So this is the username. Okay. Then I'll also add, instead of a password, I would use Docker token instead. Let me go to hub.docker.com and get my token. Sorry, account settings. So I'll go to personal access token, and I'll generate new token. GitHub Actions token, and let me set expiry date to 30 days. Okay, let me generate. So I would copy this and come to token, then I'll add another secret. That to be Docker token, and I'll paste this here and I'll add secret. So for now, I have my Docker token and my Docker username. Then I can come back to this place and image build. So what I'll do is that once we've been able to test the backend, we want to build both the front end and the back end image. So we have, first of all, we need to define our environment here. So we'll do environment. That's front end image. Front end image should be, so I want to reference the Docker username. I will do need an environment. So secret dot front end. Good. So we are trying to use the same thing because that's what we have here. Front end, Docker username, logger front end image. You can see that it's basically like the same thing. So logger front end image. So I'll also do backend and yeah, so I think this is back end. So backend image, we have secrets dot docker username slash logger app backend image. Then we have one more thing to define, which is the image tag. Image tag. The image tag should be image tag. Let's use runner number. Okay, let's use runner number. You can can use GitHub sh here, but let's see GitHub dot runner number. So I want to use GitHub runner number as the image tag. So the number that has been assigned to the runner, which we are actually using, that is what will be used as the image tag. So you can see that it is no different from this. We have our front end image, we have our back end image, we also have our image tag. For Jenkins, Jenkins already had a built-in, image tag, which is build number. So for GitHub Actions, it is runner number. So when I come here and I do build image, so I'm just going to accept this. So instead of, okay, front end Docker file, okay, so Docker build hyphen t image tag, the file is front end Docker file. Let me see, just the front end. So it should be front end. I believe it should be front end. But before then, we need to actually install Docker. Install, and then you say setup Docker. So setup Docker. So we are going to set up Docker. Okay, and then we are going to install Docker. This is a plugin, just the way I did for Python is the same way I'm doing for Docker. So we can go back to our marketplace to confirm that. I can change this to Docker instead of running all the Docker commands. So we just set up Docker buildx and we go down. So then we're currently in version 5. Yes. Okay, we're in version 5. So I'll go and change this to version 5. And let's see if this is going to work. Let me confirm from here. Let me change this to backend. So let me copy this and we'll go to the VM and I'll just echo this and do the same thing. Add this. Okay. So now we can see that our workflow is already becoming more complex and complex from yesterday when we just designed the framework. So I'm going to add, I'm going to commit updated CI stage, and then I'm going to push also to ask for my name, and I'll get my token and paste. And I'll go back to the GitHub repository and we should see something. Okay, so we're having an issue. They said unexpected value environment. Okay, the spelling is wrong. The spelling is wrong. Let me confirm that. So from my end, the spelling is wrong. Environment. There should be N. Yes. Okay, so I'm just going to change this. So N. Yes. So I'm going to add this. I would commit update CI stage. Let me use the same commit message and let me push. Let me push. I need to ask for my username. Okay, this is not correct. This is wrong. Okay, I'll get my token and I'll push. So let's see if it works this time around. It is still giving an error. So let's see what the issue is. Unexpected value environment. So it's front end image and all of the secret Docker environment. So what could possibly be the issue? Said unexpected value in environment. So I can see where the issue is. Unlike Jenkins, where we explicitly say environment, it's supposed to be env. My bad. So I'm supposed to correct this from here. It is env, not environment. I was still using um I was still using Jenkins knowledge to write this. It's env, not environment. So I'm going to vim again. So these are some of the mistakes one actually makes. Okay, then we add, we commit, and we push. And then I'll get my token. And I'm expecting that this works this time around. Okay, so let me go back to actions. So I'm testing a different thing this time around. Let me reload. Okay, so we think we've been able to pass that stage. Okay, so it's setting up the job and we have a failed request. Unable to find version 5 of our Docker. But according to what we have here, what we have is version 5. Maybe I need to use a lesser version. Oh, the latest version is 3.9. Okay, so that's another thing we need to correct. So it should be version 3. It's version 3. So most times it's not necessary, it's not nice for you to actually just look at what you see here. It's actually the checkout. I omitted this. I overlooked it rather. It's when you want to check out your code that you use version 5. So for the build dex is version 3. So my bad, that's an error on my part. So one more time we have to go again and edit that. So this is version 3, and for the fourth time we'll have to push, and again my token one more time. This isn't best practice to actually use your token all the time. It's actually not best practice. So you should configure SSH so you don't always have to type your token. So updated CI, let's see. Okay, so it's that set up the job, checked out code, set up Python, installed pip, it's testing backend, and it's setting up Docker. So it's setting up Docker and Docker. Okay, image build is wrong. Okay, so what's the issue with the image build? Error failed to build invalid tag. Docker run build fnt front end image tag. Okay, failed to build invalid tag logger front end image invalid reference format. Okay, so there could be an issue. The possible issues for this could be um maybe an there's a mistake with the code. So I'm just going to check. I'm going to do a check and see. Okay. I'm not seeing anything that actually gives me um an information about what could be the issue, but I'm just going to do a random check. It's possible that it didn't see the name. It's possible. So let me check what I have here. So what I have here is Docker Hub username. That is the secret. So let me confirm what I have. Let me go to my settings and see if the environmental variable that I have is Docker Hub. I go to secrets and variable and actions. Okay, I think I see where the issue is. The issue is we have Docker username, not Docker Hub. So I'm going to edit this and make the changes. So it's 3 and then it's Docker username, Docker username. I'm going to come here and edit again. So I'm just going to come to this place, Docker username, and here Docker username. Okay, so let's see if we'll successfully be able to pass this stage. So let me add, let me commit, update image, update image step. So let me push into ask for my username. It will ask for my token. I'll do that again. Okay, so now let's go and check, and hopefully that should resolve one or two things. I'll refresh. Okay, this was something similar we had with Jenkins, where we had so many failures when we were trying to build, but eventually we were able to scale through. So it's just similar thing. So we've passed this stage, set up Docker. Okay, it's still giving me the same issue. It's still saying the same thing. Okay, it's still saying the same thing. I'm suspecting this could be the issue. Suspecting this could actually be the issue where you specify the okay, let me go and make a change and see what could actually be the issue. Because the frontend dot docker file, docker file, should there be a dot? And just try it. Backend slash docker file. So let's see if this would actually work. I'll come here and edit this. So until you get it right, you just have to keep making changes. So I'm making sure that we all see the errors so that you don't let anybody trick you that you have to be perfect or anything. Even seniors make mistakes. Nobody actually knows it all. So let's do this F, and we have backend Docker file. I do not think there is a need for a dot. I do not think there is a need for a dot. I do not think there's a need for a dot. Okay, so let me add, let me commit, and let me push. So I'll get my token one more time. Okay, so we go again. We go again, and we'll keep We'll keep at it until we're able to get it. Let me refresh. Uh-uh. Some checks haven't completed yet. Okay, so let me go to actions. What again is the issue? It's still this build, Docker build. Okay, I think we are seeing something different. Docker build. Okay, so it's still expecting one more argument. Okay, so we keep trying. I'll come here and so I'm going to front end, back end. So add a commit, update image step. I think update build. So I want to push. Okay, and I come here. Then I paste and it has pushed. So let's go to our code. Let's see if actions have picked it. Okay, so it's building and let's see if things will be different this time around. Installing pip. It has installed pip. It's testing the backend. I think we've passed that stage. So the stage that we are looking at is the image build. Okay, so we are still having an error with that image build. Invalid reference format. Okay, so I think I might need to troubleshoot this. I'll pause the video here and then we'll continue with from here tomorrow. I hope you've been able to at least get one or two things and you can see in reality, I'm really glad this is happening. You can see in reality how this sometimes you struggle with basic things such as this. So I'll see you again tomorrow. Cheers.